So why doesn't abundance happen overnight? Because like in remodeling, you have to fix the foundation of your house before you can build a 10th story or a balcony on the 15th floor. You need to build on top of something that is useful, strong, and solidly available. This includes expanding your capacity to hold wealth and abundance once it does show up. You can see more on that in my video, Expanding Your Capacity for Wealth. And you do this by expanding your money set point and by revising, reprogramming, and rewiring old stuck patterns that keep you repeating the same overwhelm, stress, scarcity, and fear that shows up in all the different areas of your life. If you had a crumbling house, you wouldn't just paint it and say, oh, it's okay, it's good, let's move in. If you had a sinkhole below your home, you wouldn't solve it by building a taller house. No, that is why so many of current popular transformation practices don't give you the results of abundance that you want. They are lovely practices and do provide some things, yet they do not create significant lasting change. For example, affirmations are great tools for focusing on moving forward and feeling good about taking action on what gets you out of that mental hamster wheel of stress, overwhelm, and fear. And therapy gives you a greater sense of self-awareness and insights into who you are. It gives you a wider vocabulary for what you are experiencing and for communicating that to others so they can understand your experience as well. These are all positive things that improve your life. Yet personally, in my experience, therapy and affirmations still don't shift the patterns that are housed in your subconscious brain, that are deeply rooted there. These and other modalities use more of your conscious brain, where language is formed and sourced. Yet the part of your brain that is running these patterns doesn't do cognitive language, meaning the part of your brain, the critter brain, which is back here, doesn't speak English, doesn't speak Spanish, doesn't speak Mandarin or any other verbal language. This part of your brain deals in sensations. So affirmations are lovely for calming the executive functioning brain that is up here, that houses language. This is the brain where you make choices, you compute consequences, your vision for your future, and dream your dreams and determine the quality of your life. This is your rational brain. The brain that is running these less than useful beliefs that you're having, and it's running them 24/7, doesn't connect to the executive functioning brain to get updates. No, it's living its own reality and creating a reality for you that is not as useful or enjoyable as you'd like. Using words to talk to that brain back here, which we call the critter brain, isn't going to create new neural pathways to revise those beliefs. Language is not the currency that the critter brain uses. It's like walking up to your favorite takeout place and trying to pay for your food with corn kernels. Now, corn kernels can be very useful, but your local restaurant isn't going to take them and give you your dinner so that you can have a lovely experience of eating a delicious meal of your choosing. Affirmations are not the language that the critter brain uses and recognizes. As good as affirmations and talk therapy may feel, they don't get to the root of the pattern as quickly as you'd like. I mean, we all want change now, right? Using methods that evoke the executive functioning brain, which again, is up here, which wasn't even fully formed when these patterns of worth, deserving, and validity were laid down, is like walking from California to New York. You can get there, but you might get stuck in Cleveland. And there's nothing wrong with Cleveland. It's just that you wanted to get to New York. There are many popular methods that are not going to get to the root of the issue. They're focused on the symptom by using your conscious brain. They do not use how the brain is naturally designed to affect change or the language that that part of the brain needs to implement that change. Instead, your brain will kick out those attempts at deep transformational change. Your brain views it as other, as foreign to what it trusts and what it knows is safe to engage with. It does not code it as like kind, which is paramount for any change, revision, or shift to occur. This is why you need to use how your brain is naturally designed and use its own language, which are not words. So that part of your brain where the challenging beliefs are sourced, back here at your critter brain, can actually take in the change and see it as something that's survivable. When you do this, that part of your brain will be on your side and it'll help you integrate these changes that you want instead of battling against them. It will be on the same team as your executive functioning brain, meaning your executive functioning brain can envision, up here you can envision a beautiful experience of abundance, love, freedom, and ease and joy. And your critter brain can align with that vision and help you create it with a lot less effort instead of fighting against it. Honestly, I see this so many times with clients. Their conscious brain is doing all these lovely conscious brain practices that take hours out of their day. They're trying to feel happy, safe, abundant, and attract success, love, health, and wealth. Yet there's part of their brain that's rejecting it all. These good intentions feel good consciously, but they only go so deep. And unfortunately, it's not deep enough to the place where they can significantly and permanently affect change. This is why you need to go to the root of where they were first laid down in order to shift, revise, and rewire those old stuck patterns. That way, the revision that you are trying to do cannot be canceled out by the stronger lifelong pattern that is at the helm, holding the steering wheel of your life. It's about shoring up the foundation on which you operate. Similar to a building, before building it taller, you want to make sure it's really solid. It can hold that extension, that expansion. If you still have those limiting beliefs running at the core, they create cracks in the foundation. And you know this is true when you've had the experience of making money and then having it immediately disappear due to an unforeseen expense or just from stress buying. Your foundation has cracks when you have an all-access pass to the income roller coaster where you experience feast and then famine, and then feast and then famine all over again and again. And you see no way of getting off of that roller coaster. Or you have a revenue ceiling where you just can't seem to break through, and you've been at the same income for years, no matter what you do. Lastly, it's most likely you have cracks in the foundation when on paper you are successful. You have money, yet you don't feel successful. You don't know what it will take for you to feel successful. You hope the next milestone you hit will be it. Yet it's not. This is a really good sign that there is a limiting belief running at the core that prevents you from enjoying all that you've created and manifested. These are all signs that there are cracks in the foundation. So getting your critter brain and your executive functioning brain on the same team, creating your chosen vision together in ways that don't contradict each other, is the best way to create more ease, freedom, joy, and fix those foundational cracks. If you want to find out how to get your critter brain and executive functioning brain on the same team, click the button below and pick a time for us to connect and chat more.